They laughed at her before they even knew her name. On the cracked training field of an abandoned military compound, a woman stood alone, clutching a rifle so damaged it barely held together. 76 soldiers in fresh uniforms watched her with folded arms and smug grins, certain she didn't belong there. Not with a broken weapon, not with her quiet posture, not with the eyes that looked like they'd already seen too much. They didn't know the truth. They didn't know who she used to be. And they had no idea what she was about to do. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Captain Mara Ellison, former Special Operations markswoman, discharged after an explosion shattered both her weapon and the unit that trusted her. She hadn't touched a rifle since the day she buried her best friend. She had sworn she never would again. Yet here she was, standing before young soldiers who'd been trained to mock what they feared. They didn't see the way her fingers trembled, not from weakness, but restraint. They didn't see how she inhaled, remembering every order she never wanted to give again. They didn't see the promise she once made at a grave. I'll never pull another trigger unless it saves a life. But the general beside her saw something they didn't. He knew she hadn't shown up to prove ego. She'd shown up because the military she once loved was rotting with arrogance. These soldiers didn't understand discipline. They didn't understand honor. They didn't understand humility. So he gave her one task: show them what true control looks like. When the challenge was announced, 76 moving targets, 1 broken rifle, limited ammunition, the field erupted in laughter. One soldier shouted, "She won't hit a single shot." Another yelled, "Give her a real gun, and maybe she'll cry less." Mara didn't reply. She only closed her eyes and listened. Wind direction, bullet drop, metal fatigue, memory, everything at once. She lifted the fractured weapon. The crowd went silent, and the world narrowed to the slow rhythm of her heartbeat. The first shot split the air. The second followed like a shadow. Then a third, and suddenly no one was laughing. Her broken rifle cracked louder than their pride. 1 target fell, then 2, then 10. She didn't miss. Every breath was a calculation, every shot a message. By the time she reached the final bullet, silence flooded the field. Even the wind seemed afraid to move. 76 targets, 76 hits, no misses. With a rifle, every other soldier had declared useless. She lowered the weapon, and the applause didn't come. Not yet. Because what they felt first wasn't admiration, it was shame. One trainee finally whispered, "How? Did she do that?" She didn't gloat. She didn't smile. She simply answered, "Respect your tools. Respect your team. Respect the weight of what you carry. A soldier's power isn't in his weapon. It's in his discipline." That was the real lesson. Not accuracy, not skill, but responsibility. Because every bullet has a consequence. Every trigger holds a life. The general stepped forward, voice unshaking. This woman silenced 76 soldiers today, not with fear, but with truth. And only then did the applause finally rise. When they walked off that field, those soldiers were different men. Some stood straighter. Some walked slower. All of them looked at their rifles as if seeing them for the first time. Mara didn't stay for praise. She placed the broken weapon on the ground, gently, like setting down a memory, and walked away, lighter than when she'd arrived. Because sometimes the strongest person in the room is the one who no longer needs to prove anything. Because strength isn't loud, it's quiet, disciplined, and earned. And somewhere on that same field, dust drifting in the sunlight, the echo of her first shot still lived. A reminder that even broken things can change everything when placed in the right hands. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it. And let me know in the comments. Have you ever been underestimated and proved them wrong?